Yo, what up, man? It's Let the Beats Experience, and we are here with the one and only SPM, South Park Mexican. What's good?
What's up, baby? How's everything going?
Man, just living, man. Want to get right to it, man. I had some questions for you. I know we were touching on a few things here a little while ago, but just kind of wanted to ask you, it's undeniable what you've been and what you've meant to the culture, not only in Texas, but throughout the Southwest region and just in general. You it goes without saying, man, you paved the way musically. And I feel with, SPM, you're very polarizing in the sense that people have an opinion on you. It's either really, really good or it's really, really bad. It's one or the other, right? But you have an opinion, and it's a gift to make people react. You know what I'm saying? It is truly a gift to make people respond and react. But I want to ask you, this question. For all the things that are great with SPM, you have Carlos Coy, right? And Carlos Coy, there's always the stigma that's been attached to you. There's a dark cloud that follows you. And do you feel personally for you that affects the legacy of SPM? Don't care about what the fans say. Don't care about what anybody else says. I want to know how you feel in regards to some of those negative things that are thrown on your name. Do you feel that affects your brand and your legacy?
Well, there's determining factors on what makes a rap artist great. There's three things that I can think of right off the top: real, skill, and feel. Can they make you feel their music? Do they feel your subject matter? Do they feel it in their heart? Can they cope with it? Can they relate to it? That's feel. Skill is the rhyming up to par. Is it multi-syllable? Is it skillful? Does it still stick to the subject? And then real is he really lived that life? Is he really from the hood? Has he really pulled that trigger and sold that brick and kicked that door and what have you? Then there's other factors. Delivery. The delivery has everything to do with timing and the quality of the voice. I'm not the greatest singer, but I do sing a lot, and I can keep a tune or stay on key or whatever you call it. But I'm no Drake. Drake has a beautiful voice. And then there's the production side. Does he make his own beats? Does he know how to make beats and what have you? So I think that could also be a part of the determining factors of what makes an artist great, a rap artist great. As far as skill, which in the category of multi-syllable rhyme structures, I think Eminem reigns supreme. When it comes to just fucking making 10 syllables rhyme with 10 syllables, over and over and over, and it all making sense and it all being powerful, a lot of times in a comical sense. But Eminem is a fucking genius when it comes to multi-syllable rhyming. There's nobody more skillful. So my multi-syllable rhyming is no punk, but it would take me fucking 2 days to write a verse that Eminem could probably write in 2 hours. So he and then when it comes to real, I mean, yeah, a lot of people have lived a real life. When it comes to feel, yeah, a lot of people have felt some things a lot of people produce. But when you take all the categories and you average them out per artist, in my honest opinion, and one thing I do is I don't fucking lie. I was the worst fucking rapper in the world when I started rapping. I'll never forget my first rap. I was my first street rap, because I started out Christian, and even then, you know, my homeboys would never even let me want to rap at the parties and shit, because it was just bad, you know. But you know, aside from my first raps or whatever, they were pretty horrible. But I knew I was horrible. You see, I knew it. I would listen to Ice Cube, and I would listen to Special Ed, and I would listen to KRS-One, and I would listen to the DOC, and other rappers in the game in those times. And I knew, even Will Smith, you know, I would listen to them, and they were just better. But I kept working, and I kept working, and I kept writing. I wrote for 2 fucking years. I fucking had a whole file cabinet, all 4 drawers, filled with thousands of pages, thousands of verses. And I wrote on pizza cartons. I wrote on fucking junk mail. My mom used to work at a grocery store, and she'd bring back little ink pens, little Safeway ink pens. And I had fucking empty cartridges of ink pens, the way a dope fiend has a fucking pile of empty lighters. I'm talking a pile of empty pens. And I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, because I constantly saw myself improving, but I still wasn't there. Until one day, I was there. I worked my way up from a white belt to a fucking 3rd degree black belt. And once I worked myself up to that degree of a black belt, I never went back down. Everything from there on was untouchable. There was certainly a time that I was easily, right now it's a little bit argumentative, but there was certainly a time, like back in 1995, 1996, when there was nobody even close to fucking with me. When Eminem came out in 98, 99, that's when I said, oh, fuck, I've been slipping. This motherfucker's coming with it, you know. But as far as skill, there was no threat to me at all. But when you average out all the elements that make a great rap artist, nobody averages higher than me. And that's my honest opinion. I feel that I'm the best that's ever done it, and it's okay to disagree with that. A lot of people think I'm horrible, like Baby Dash calls my music funeral music. You know, because he wants to, you know, kick that kind of happy shit, you know. And I love it. You know, I'm not mad at that. You know, a lot of rappers, I'm sorry, not rappers, but a lot of artists, you know, rap about kind of joyous shit. I rap about nothing but fucking depression shit, tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Even when I try to be happy, it's a fucked up definition of happiness. And that's just because I came from the worst of the worst upbringing. You know, I'm not from the street. I'm from the fucking gutter. I'm from underneath the street. So that's just what I know. So a lot of people will say, nah, I don't fly, man, SPM, he sucks. Well, I'm glad he thinks I suck. Because if you love my music, you're in a lot of fucking pain. And you've been through a whole lot of fucked up shit. If you love my music. And that's okay. You know, I'm here. That's what I'm here for. You know, I want to write this medicine. I want to write this stuff that helps you get through your day when you're hurting. This ain't for the happy. It ain't for them happy-go-lucky motherfuckers that just want to talk about dripping paint and smoking dank and you know, this and that. This is for the tragedies of this world. So it's okay, you know, it's okay to have different opinions. But I am certainly the best in millions of people's eyes, including my own. And But I also can honestly say, when it comes to those categories, I think that I have the highest average of all time.
Got you. Well,
overall.
Well, I wanted to ask. You mentioned that there was a period of time where you felt untouchable. Skill wise. Would you say now that you're older, whenever you were younger, looking back at that younger version of you in your 20s, your late 20s, your early 30s, and when you were having that run of just being the new artist, because there's always that new artist energy when there's like this new guy that just emerges. Do you feel that mentality of being untouchable bled into the way you approached your personal life as well, or was that just professional?
Well, when I was free and in the game, I did feel threatened. Like I would see this Mexican coming up, and I'd be like, God damn, he's fucking good. And then I would see that Mexican, I'd be like, hold up, this youngster's like, oh shit, he could possibly take my throne. Like, what the fuck? And then I would run into this guy and be like, oh, fuck, this guy's good, Like, I was giving everybody so much credit, and I wasn't giving myself that much credit. But, my nigga, I've been in here 19 years, and I'm still the number one streamed Mexican-American rapper in the world. And if you put Travis Scott in Missouri City, I'm the number one streamed male rapper in the entire city of Houston. Zero coming in second, and of course, and Slim Thug and everybody else coming in behind. SPM is the number one streamed male rapper in Houston, in the fourth biggest city, and that's been locked up 19 years. How fucking crazy is that? That's what makes it stupid impressive. And I've been gone. So now I was worried about all these dudes 20 fucking years ago. They were, probably a lot of them were happy when this bullshit fell upon me and I got locked up for 45 years. Probably a lot of them felt, well, it's my time now. Well, guess what? Them motherfuckers ain't even around no more. Them motherfuckers ain't even around no more. So I see a new generation and I love them. And I help them and I do everything. I see 6, 8 really great guys coming out of H-Town. I love them. I'll do everything, but I've learned not to feel threatened. It just, I'm not. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm one in a million. I feel like I'm 1 in 10 billion. And so, no, I don't feel threatened at all. Not the way I used to, because, I've been locked up too long and still hold the throne. You know what I mean? Like, if that don't boost the motherfucker's confidence, I don't know what will.
Well, I spoke to, I had interviewed Selena's brother, A.B. Quintanilla, and I had a conversation with him. And in this context, I do want to say that I told him that it's been 26 years since the passing of Selena. There hasn't been anybody that's come along since that has filled that void for the culture down here. And in that sense, I can definitely say that with SPM, there hasn't been anybody that's filled your void. And I want to ask you a few questions. One, why do you think that is? Two, has there been anybody that you've seen that's not your family that you would say that person has potential to carry the torch? That person has potential to be the next one. And if so, who is that person? And ultimately, like, why do you feel that has been the case?
Well, one thing that I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing real life struggle. I'm not seeing, telling it the way it is. I'm just seeing a lot of skill. And I'm not saying the skill isn't there to be able to do that. I just think that the subject matter needs to be a little bit more across the board. You can't just be a fucking killer and a shooter every fucking time. You got for example, you've got to tell stories. I'm not really seeing anybody tell stories like SPM. And I'm talking about real stories with the beginning, a middle conflict, and then a resolution at the end. That's one thing that Eminem did really well with Stan. But he did not write as many stories as SPM. And it's just an incredible story. You know, When the Lights Go Out, Real Gangster, Jack is in My Home, Land of the Lost. The Third Wish is a little bit of a story, but not much. The Darkest Author, Laundromat. There's that other song where Miss I'm a Freaka, just telling stories about real situations that have, just like any story. See, you can have a story or you can have a situation. A story means that it starts, there's a conflict in the middle, and then there's a resolution at the end. That's a story. A situation is just something that happened. I got on the bus and motherfuckers started robbing everybody on the bus, rapping about something like that. But if it doesn't have an intro and the conflict and the resolution, it's not really a story. That's what I see missing. But that's very difficult. J. Cole did a story about, meeting a girl in his class and, because I ain't never did this before, no. I ain't never did this before, no. And then somebody else, Kendrick Lamar, I think, had it was Ludacris, did a story about a little girl, runaway, something about runaway, something runaway. Okay stories. A lot of one-syllable rhyming, because it's difficult to write a story and still have multi-syllable rhymes. I was not impressed with either of those stories, but they did a good job, and those records did well, and the stories were good, and nothing, against J. Cole. He's a fucking genius, he's a fucking beast, a monster. I love him to death. He's one of my favorite artists. I'm just saying that the storytelling is a difficult thing to do. And of course the Ludacris story, I love Ludacris too, but that was fucking pretty bad. I mean, as far as skill and being able to do the multi-syllable rhyming at the same time as telling a story. But that is what I see missing in this next generation. So I feel like that's why SPM is just continuing to reign supreme, because nobody's replacing that part of it. Where when they rap, when SPM raps, you can close your eyes and the fucking movie's gonna play in your head. You know what I mean? Because there's a story being told. The enunciation is crystal clear. You hear and understand every fucking word. That's what I see that's missing. And that's what, when I get out, I'll be working with these youngsters and I'll be showing them and I'll be pushing them. When I get out, I'm going to have like fucking 12 different production rooms, and all day long I'm just going to walk in one room to the next room to the next room. We're going to build a fucking music factory that just spits out nothing but fucking crap, That's what I should have done when I was free. But when I was free, I was just, fucking hoes and getting fucked up, That's all I did all fucking day. I worked on music maybe 2 weeks a year. 2 fucking weeks a year. I would go into a studio and make another album. And then for the other 11 and a half months, just being a fucking dumbass. Cheating on my wife and fucking being a pathetic man. So, but just with those 2 weeks a fucking year, I did what I did, bro. I fucking gave the rap game 2% of my ability. And with that 2%, look what the fuck I did. So just imagine when I get out, I'm going to put fucking planet Earth in my left pocket, and then I'm going to look around and see what I want to put in my right pocket. It's fucking over. It's fucking over.
So let me
all glory to God.
So let me ask you though, that's an interesting perspective, but I want to know if there has been anybody that you've seen that has come along, whether it be from Texas or it could be anywhere, that you could say that person
absolutely
may be that
absolutely
heir to the throne. Who would that be, if you don't mind me asking?
It's definitely I'm just gonna say two guys. Even though I do like one a little bit more, I really won't say, because I gotta see a little bit more. But definitely Peso, which everybody knows, and then a kid named That Mexican OT, which not a lot of people know yet, but this nigga is something special. This kid is something special. He's a Mexican out of Bay City. Peso, of course, is like a son to me. He's my good friend, Star Baby's son. You know, Star Baby was on Going to the Valley on the Third Wish. His father used to rap with me. His father used to hang with me. You know, I love Peso as well. But those two guys, they're definitely doing big things. And then there's a lot more. You know, a lot more great rappers coming out. I like Big Tony. I like Young Easy. Of course, Space City Lords. Brick is fucking killing it. Little Mexico is fucking killing it. Which they have a group called the Wolf Pack.
GT
I heard
Garza.
a little bit of Southside Hoodlum. Of course, GT Garza. I love him to death. He's a good friend of mine. King Little G. I heard a few videos from him. He's wonderful. OGZ. I love him. I saw a few videos of him. He's awesome. Snow the Product is a fucking giant. Crystal Poppin is great. There's a young girl coming up named Ghetto Princess. It's wonderful. So you don't really know who's really just gonna take it, but we certainly have a strong and many more. Little Keen is great. Of course, Baby Los and Carly are on their shit. JD Coy. My boy Dominic in Colorado, like my kids are doing their thing. But it's I just wish I was out there where I could help them more. You know, I could be in the studio with them. But it won't be long. You know what I'm saying? It won't be long. I'll be there. I'll be out there. You know. But